Welcome to Wickenburg, Arizona from Nugget Shooter Journals. Today we're going to talk a little bit about why you don't go into or camp in a dry wash in Arizona or pretty much anywhere else. This is a nice little park. This used to be the highway that went over the Hassayampa River, but we had a really bad rain one year and the rain damaged the bridge, so they had to put in a new bridge, which is right over there and that roundabout, and they made this bridge into a little park walkway type thing, which is cool. And I love the no fishing from bridge sign. I mean, normally this is a dry river, so that's a joke. This is the Hassayampa River. And the Hassayampa River has water in it only when we get a bad storm, which we've had over the last 2 days. And these last 2 days have made enough rain happen that we got some serious water in the river, folks. And a lot of people have died throughout history staying in these dry washes. This dry wash is not a dry wash right now. A little more Wickenburg history. Now, as folks that hang out in the desert, we take this real serious. There's Tammy.
Hi, I look like crap. It's been rainy. Sorry.
Look at this, folks. This is normally dry as a bone. Probably 90% of the year or better. And we've gotten so much rain that it's now a raging river. And later on in this video, I'm going to show you what this river looks like dry, because we're going to come and finish the video, the other half of the video up, showing you the same spot here, but dry. Look at the buzzards up in the air here. Okay, a lot of times cows get in these washes because it's all open rangeland, and they get in these washes and these floods come, and it's usually not a good ending for the cattle. Look at this. You'd think this was just a regular river now, wouldn't you? Yeah, it's a novelty here for us to see it flow, as you probably suspect from my video. There were a bunch more vultures. There's still a few here, and the other ones have gone over here for some reason. But they're not dumb. They're hunting that river for food. I think they found something right over here. But can you imagine if you were camped and it rained upstream? There's not a drop of rain falling here right now. And when this thing first comes through, it's packing brush and debris like you're seeing down there in the center. It's pushing that stuff along. And it just grinds up anything in its path and just destroys it. As you can see, last night the water was all the way up in here. There she is again. Look at that. Like I said, I'll do another video in a couple days when the water's gone and show you what this is supposed to look like.
It's flowing good.
It sure is flowing good. Wow. Like I say, it's very rare to get to see it flow unless you live here. Let's go look at the other side. This is a nice little park up here. Like I said, this used to be the old road, and the bridge got damaged so heavily by what happened was there's a little road called Rincon Road just up on the other side of the new bridge, and a guy was trying to get through there with a semi when the flash flood came, and the water was all the way up to the bottom of this bridge. that we're on, all the way up to the bottom here. And his semi trailer had gotten stuck up against the bridge, and it kept pushing and pushing and pushing. The semi trailer finally fell apart and washed downstream, and it did permanent damage to the bridge, so they closed it and made this into a park. That's what she looks like flowing, my friends. Never ever camp in a dry wash. I don't care if it doesn't look like rain where you are. If it rains upstream, I mean even miles and miles upstream, this stuff comes roaring down these washes. If you camp down there, by the time it gets to you, it's too late. It's just flat out too late. Yep. All right, we're gonna close this part of it, and then I'll come back here in a couple days and give you another view of the river dry. The normally dry Hassayampa River. I've seen this water all the way up to this bridge, my friends, where all this stuff we're looking at right now, between where it's flowing on the edge there, by past Tammy, and over here, I've seen that all completely underwater. All right, off we go. I'll see you when the river's dry. Okay, now this is filmed later at the same spot that I showed earlier. That might be the later part of the video. Where we are right now is the Hassayampa River in Wickenburg, Arizona. No fishing from bridge sign. And all the other stuff I've already showed a couple times. And right now, if you look, the river is bone dry. Bone dry. Not even a wet spot. If you remember, I was telling you, you don't ever want to camp in these things when they're dry. There's a real good reason for that. And that is because when these things flow, they destroy everything in their path, including people, animals, or anything else that might be in the way. And this is the normally dry Hassayampa River. And we see it flow several times a year. But this is what it looks like most of the time. And we were right when we saw it flooding. We mentioned that there might be a dead animal down the way, and there was. There's a cow that got either killed before or during the flood, and all those vultures we showed were eating that cow. This is what she looks like dry. Nice and sandy. Might be a couple of nice camp spots down there, but boy, you don't want to camp in one of these washes because it could rain upstream several miles up in the mountains over there and send a torrent of water down here at any time. I just thought, we get a lot of questions about what we mean by dry wash. Well, right now this is a dry wash. It's called a river, but it's basically a dry wash. And the dry washes here do the same thing as this does. When you get a lot of rain, it soaks into the ground here real quick because we don't have a lot of topsoil. And then the rest of it goes right into these washes and rivers and just absolutely ravages down them, destroying everything in its path. Yeah, it's kind of cool to watch, as long as you're not watching from in it. So, with that, the next vision you're going to see is either of it flowing, or I've already showed that, and this will be Nugget shooter out. I'm not sure which order I'm going to do it in. It depends on when I put the video together. So, Anyway, that's an explanation for a dry wash opposes a running wash. So when we talk about dry washes, this is what we're talking about. And the reason we don't camp there is quite obvious when you watch the video. Nice little town, Wickenburg. All right, Nugget shooter out.